Do you believe employees should be allowed to have side hustles while working full-time?
So this question, similar to when somebody's asking me that should somebody take on 2 courses at the same time. I know people that graduated from 2 universities at the same time. You say, so it depends on your capacity. If you can run it, some are doing economics here and some are also doing ICANN, some are doing economics and doing accounting at another school. I have some colleagues in those days that did that. So meaning that it depends on that employee's capacity that determines whether it's good or bad. So the question we should start asking ourselves is that employee meeting the job requirements? And I can say yes, I can say no. It depends on the type of employee, the capacity of that employee. But if you're not meeting your current KPI, then, and you're running a side hustle that is not structured. When I say structured, of course, some employees can have a boss that is carrying passengers from one location to other. That does not affect their work. You have Okada, and that person is just giving you returns every week. But if you have a logistic company and you're the same person managing it, if you have a structure, somebody else is helping you answer your calls, doing what you want to do, then it's not affecting your business. It's not affecting what you're doing at work, then you can do it. But let's imagine you're an employee, you're selling air, and you're the one that they're calling to buy the air. You're the one responding to the handle yourself. And when they want to call, you're the one saying, go to this place, go and deliver. So you're going to toilet more. You're going to the restroom every time. Just to go and pick call, you're going out again, you're being called, you're going out again. So you're not stable in your work. Then that's where there's a problem. But if it's not like that, you have a structure, you can have a side also. Your side also must not affect the KPIs you were given. If you don't have the capacity, or you need to also choose the kind of side also. So as an employer, if you find out that your employee has a side also, but it does well at work, what's your business? What's your business? Because it's not affecting what you hire the person for. But let's say, for example, if an employer, during work time, you now cut the employee working on something else, then there's a problem. So, but some employees can put structure that doesn't affect the business. So saying yes or no is subjective. I cannot say yes, I cannot say no.
So once the side hustle is now affecting performance, like you said, so how should this be handled?
Wait, the conversation, that's why every CEO must come for our next online conference, driving people and business performance. Because you cannot do anything about it. Your conversation at work should not be whether somebody has a side hustle. So there's no conflict of interest. The side hustle that is evil is if that person is doing exactly what the company is doing. You're a tailor and you're having side hustle and taking jobs and using employer's job to do the work. That's evil. That's conflict of interest. But when your role as employer is to set up a system, a performance management system to drive employees' performance. So the gist of have you not seen people that don't have side hustle, but they use 7 hours of your time to watch video, to watch YouTube, to watch Netflix at work? That's also a side hustle. Some using your time, they're also making money, but they're investing time in watching football at work, in doing other things. But this other person is investing the time to do business. So people that are not even doing side hustle might be worse than the people that are doing side hustle. But if your business requires 8 hours, make sure your business is designed such that you have metrics to measure the deliverable that requires 8 hours. Not that you kept employees at work for something that should be 8 hours, but the real work is 4 hours. What should the person be doing? Of course, that person will do side hustle, will do something because it's not affecting the person's job. But if your work is designed for 8 hours, make sure there are metrics that track 8 hours, make sure deliverables are things that should be covered in 8 hours, then they said an idle hand is what the devil uses. It's a devil's workshop. So if you've not designed the rules for performance, there's no way employees will not do anything with your time. So we are the ones that gave or created that lacuna, the gap that's causing people to now see that I'm jobless. So let me add one more. But employers should not be concerned about whether somebody does side hustle or doesn't do side hustle. Set up the performance system, management system that can track what you want and reward only people that do what you want. So that solves this question.
Everything you've said, I understand that performance is the key indicator. But is it realistic today to actually expect employees to depend on one income stream?
I've never said employees should depend on one income stream. But I said, do not let your other things you want to depend on affect what you're doing. People buy shares. People invest in bonds, invest in businesses. You can buy lands and, do land banking, do a lot of things that doesn't really require your work, your time. The challenge is your time. There are other things you can do that does not demand your time. But anything that will require your 8 to 5, and you're on 8 to 5, then you have a problem already. Because there must be, you'll be struggling with time. At some point, you'll be unethical. At some point, you'll be lying. At some point, you will stay. At some point, you'll be sick when you should not be sick. At some point, different things will start happening because you're trying to juggle between two ends. But there are a lot of things you can do that doesn't require your own effort and time. They can give you more streams of income than you wanted to use your time. And if peradventure you have to do something that requires your time, there will be something you can do overnight. And that is if that will not increase your sick leave. Because when you work yourself overnight, when you want to sleep, there's no way you won't call in and say, I woke up with headache. Of course, you should wake up with headache and banging headache because you didn't sleep overnight. So you're not refreshed for the next day's work. So, and normally, another time, again, is that you see people, it affects your mind. Because as you're moving on, things demanding your time requires your thinking. And most times, employers are paying you to think. Not only to work, to think. So, if your thinking time is now on your side also, then very soon, your productivity will start dropping in your current work because you will not come up with any idea. But you're not even thinking about the work at all. So definitely, your performance will start dropping. But for the employers, I don't see why employers should be concerned about this issue. What you should be concerned about is your performance management system. You need to come and learn in the next online conference we're having for entrepreneurs. If you're a CEO, MD, founder, you cannot afford to miss it. Come and learn how to drive people and business performance.
Seed Academy, your growth partner.